Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Honey Badger's channel, a premier silver-focused growth company forefronting a commodities renaissance. Here with us today is the executive chair, Chad Williams. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you very much.
A
And
pleasure.
once again, your enthusiasm is contagious.
Always trying to keep the energy high, especially in these volatile times in the market. But before we kick off too much here, man, you just kind of dropped some news that I think would be prevalent to touch on. I mean, you reported a second batch of assay from the Plata, your Yukon program, with a long list of silver, gold, lead, zinc grades. But your silver grades were hitting as high as 9,500 grams per ton under a meter depth. Is there anything you want to touch on here that you think is prevalent for the retail audience to know?
Yeah, I mean, just a quick recap. We bought the project a little less than a year ago. And we were optimistic. Obviously, that's why we bought it. We were optimistic on the potential. I went to visit the project in August. Really liked what I saw. I had a feeling that we were going to report some good assays, but obviously these numbers are very good, as good as anything anyone put out in a long time, right? In terms of silver assays. So the question is, are these real? What does it mean? So the work, first of all, the work was done by a group called Archer Cathro. They're a technical consulting group based in the Yukon. They have an extremely high and strong reputation, okay? Very solid group. They've made multiple discoveries in the past. And we use them because they know their way around the Yukon, okay? And so, yeah, these are good results executed by a very good group. So they're real, and we're extremely happy and encouraged by those results. We expect more results. We haven't seen them. I don't know what they're going to be like, but the point is there's more news coming. And then we're going to decide what is the next step. Do we continue doing surface sampling? Do we do drilling? We don't exactly know yet, but we think, I'm going to use a cliche, but we think we have a tiger by the tail here. It smelled good when I saw it. Well, it smelled good when we bought it, smelled good when I saw it. It smells really good now.
That's great to hear, man. As we kind of bleed into 2022, I mean, aside from these assay reports, is there a general time frame what you're expecting out of Q1, Q2 here? You said you're kind of just formulating some stuff, but is there any quick guidance you can offer on maybe some more results coming out or anything that we should know about?
Sure, and you know, every time I'm on a call with you, I tell you the same thing, in the sense that we're extremely busy, and we continue to be extremely busy. So our thesis, our agenda, if you will, is to continue adding value on a per share basis in the silver space.
Yeah.
And there's only two ways to do that, really. Okay, either you find it, and I would like to think Plata is an example of a discovery of how we add value through exploration or work activities on the ground, and the only other way is to buy ounces, is to buy projects that are known but not well understood, or not well understood by the market, so we can buy them for pennies on the dollar. And we will make some announcements very shortly on that. We've been very active in 2020, as I mentioned. And we're just getting everything lined up to make sure that all the you know, everything is formalized. But watch for some news on that front. So there's going to be some news from Honey Badger for sure.
Great to hear, man.
Weeks to months.
Yeah. So just taking a look at the macroeconomics here, I mean, I got to ask, obviously, the markets are all over the place right now. There's a lot of fear around hyperinflation, the Fed meeting, interest rates going up, which all tends to bode pretty well for the commodities market, as most people are thinking we're heading into this next renaissance here. What are your thoughts on the current silver market, gold? Any comments you want to make there?
Sure. I mean, admittedly, I have been expecting this. I guess perhaps that's too strong of a word, but thinking that this would happen for some time, and it's now unfolding. Yeah, you're seeing money come out of Bitcoin, out of lots of technology stocks, and traditionally the money would have flown into bonds, safe haven. Okay, but bonds are now seen as risky for a bunch of reasons. I wouldn't touch any European bond, for example. There are a very few categories of bonds that are valid now for a bunch of reasons. They just, you know, governments and municipalities and corporations have just spent so much money so freely that a lot of these bonds aren't worth the paper they're printed on. The point I'm trying to make is traditionally the money would flow into bonds. I don't think it's going to go there. It's coming out of stocks, it's coming out of crypto. I think precious metals are going to benefit greatly. And I think, we've seen some financings in the space last week. I think we're on the verge of something very special here in precious metals, commodities in general, but precious metals in particular.
On that note, Chad, I definitely appreciate your time today and offering these insights. Thanks so much for coming out.
Okay, thank you. Thanks again for your time.
Always a pleasure. And if you guys have any questions, let us know what you think in that comment section below. Consider subscribing for that news as it comes down the wire. But in light of it, stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you in the next one.